Very good race, Jules.
Finally, 11 points.
When I see you again.
Hi everyone, welcome back to this Jules Bianchi Tribute Career Mode, and in this episode we head off to the streets of Singapore, which was the first original night race on the calendar prior to Bahrain becoming a night race and Abu Dhabi being added to the calendar in 2009. But this is the start of the business end of the season. We've got 6 rounds remaining, and there's as we saw in the previous episode, there's only 37 points between myself and Hamilton. Is the title possible? We've just got to keep our momentum going. So let's see how we do.
The lights are on and shining brightly here at the Marina Bay street circuit for the start of the Singapore Grand Prix. Let's take a look at the grid positions for today's race.
So we're starting from 18th place from today's race, in front of the Caterhams and the Lotus of Maldonado. This is what the top 10 looks like. No real surprises this time around. Hamilton on pole, that's not good for us in our title challenge. Alright, let's have a look at the strategy for today's race. I was contemplating going onto the primes for this particular race because I did a previous race with the Force India and on a 50% race, and it actually helped out considerably in helping me be more competitive towards the end of the race. But in the end, I decided to stick to the option tyres because I need to be on the same strategy as everyone else on the grid.
We're predicting a podium finish for you today. See what you can do.
Lights out and away we go. We've got a very good start off the line. We're already going past Gutierrez and now trying to go down the inside of Sutil. Try and dive from several cars going into turn 1. But it's quite a narrow entry and I didn't misjudge the Toro Rosso on my right hand side, and in doing so I had to cut the chicane and resulting in an illegal overtake, so we had to let Daniil Kvyat go back past us. But that's left us under attack from Vern, as you can see on the He's gone down the inside into turn 4, which is actually the corner before the DRS zone. Obviously no DRS in operation in the first 2 laps. We come up towards the end of sector 1. We're going to try and get past Kvyat fairly this time. Go down the inside, and we have done. We're up into 13th place. We're now going to cut to a replay, and I think this is on board with Jean-Eric Verne here. Yes, that's, as you can see, that's us going across the chicane there, and that's Verne losing the position to Kvyat. And then we're going to stick with it as he tries to go down the inside of us, coming up into turn 4 or 5. I can't remember exactly what corner number this is, but as you can see, we very nearly made contact with the Toro Rosso as we went round the outside. We're now back on to the actual race. We're now stuck behind the Force India Sergio Perez. Possibly could go down the inside into the slow braking hairpin left-hander prior to the end of the second sector. I think we've got the move done. No, we haven't. Sergio Perez has got good drive on the outside there. Combined with the Mercedes power, is powered straight past us. We're going to go down the inside into the next right-hander, and we've made the move stick. We're up into 12th place. We're now cutting towards the tunnel, well, not the tunnel part, but where we go underneath the grandstand prior to the end of the lap. But look how slow Magnussen is going through this last chicane. It's absolutely ridiculous how slow he was going there. So we had no choice but to hit him. It was just ridiculous how slow he was. I don't know if that's the AI being programmed to do that, depending on what the difficulty is. Anyways, we didn't get a penalty for that, so we're now cut to 1 lap later. We're going down the inside of Jenson Button prior to the going underneath the grandstand, but he's still on our inside there, so we had to give him a little bit of room on the inside. But we've then gone right round the outside into the final chicane prior to the end of the lap. We also get very good drive off the last 2 corners coming onto the start-finish straight, and now we're very close to Nico Hulkenberg, who is in 9th place in front of us. We're going to go down the inside into turn number 1, and we've made the move stick. It's a very good move by us, and we're up into 9th place. We're now going to cut back to actually the replay on board with Jenson Button, and this is on board with him whilst we made the move. As you can see, We went down the inside. He saw us coming, but we also had to give him room on the inside as well, going into the right-hander, and then we go right around the outside, going into the chicane, combined with the fact that the AI was pretty slow through that corner. And this is on board Nico Hulkenberg. This is us just going down the inside very easily. He goes a little bit wide, but I think he knew he was coming and he knew he'd lost the position. Anyways, we've now cut to lap number 4. It took us a couple of laps to actually catch up to the next car, and that is Fernando Alonso. We're right with the Ferrari as we go into the last 2 corners to start lap number 5. We do get the DRS this time around, because of course it's beyond lap number 3. We're going to go down the inside of Alonso into turn number 1. Very forceful move there, but we've managed to make it stick and make it fair with no contacts whatsoever. But I think we may have made a bit of a mistake, because Alonso will have DRS going on to the main straight prior to the end of the first sector. As you can see, we've had a pretty decent exit though, but we're still going to be aware of Alonso behind. As you can see, he's right up our gearbox as we come across into the slight right-hander. As you can see, he's just gone down the inside, but we're going to try and hold it round the outside into the left-hander, and we've managed to make the move stick, and we're up into 7th place. And here's the battle between us and Fernando again. As you can see, he had to make a quick adjustment to the steering wheel to allow us to get the track position there and ensure there was no contact. We've skipped a little bit further to the point where he was in our DRS range and in our slipstream. And as you can see, look how much overspeed he has compared with us. As he goes down the inside, coming up into the left-hander, but we managed to hold it round the outside and maintain 7th place. We now cut to lap number 6. It's actually our pit stop lap. We're right with the Ferrari of Kimi Raikkonen. He's actually coming into the pits as well as us, and also I think the 2 Williams cars in front are also pitting, which is another dumb mistake for him. We got a little warning there because I think we made a little bit of contact with Raikkonen. I think that was because of how slow he was going into the pits. We very nearly made contact with the Ferrari as he turned in there. But look at this. Look how close we are to hitting Bottas. I think that was Bottas in the pits there. This pit lane is really narrow. I don't understand why Williams decided to pit them both at the same time. This is on board with Bottas on the replay actually. Look how close we are to hitting him. Look at that. That is absolutely insane how we haven't hit each other there. Anyways, we're back on board with the live action, us exiting the pits there. We'd come out just behind Kimi Raikkonen, got slightly held up by him, but it doesn't matter for us. We've got in front of Daniil Kvyat, who I think is on the prime tyres. That is incredibly crucial for our race if we want to make more gains on the cars in front. As you can see, we're right in the DRS zone of Kimi Raikkonen. We could make a move coming up into the left-hander like Alonso did, but actually try and make the move stick. And we've gone down the inside there, and we've made the move stick. That's fantastic. We've now cut towards the end of the lap, and look how slow once again the AI is going into that chicane. We've caught up right up with Felipe Massa due to him, I don't know, struggling with cold tyres and the new tyres. We've now got the DRS on Massa. We're going to go down the inside into the first corner, which we have done. We're up into 4th place now after all the pit stops have worked out. We cut towards the midway point of lap number 8. We're now caught up to the back of Daniel Ricciardo, who looks to be struggling on cold tyres or something, because we've caught up to him quite considerably, and we've gone down the inside into the hairpin, and we're up into the podium positions by the midway point of this race. We're going to cut to the replay once again on Daniel Ricciardo. This is actually how we got past him, and look at this. He just gives us a lot of room on the inside to allow us to get past him, and it's quite a fair fight between us and the Australian. We're now going to come across the line of to end lap number 8. This is what the gap is. It's around 12 seconds between us and Nico Rosberg, so I think it might be a bit too far for us to actually challenge the Mercedes on this occasion. So it's all about damage limitation. So really we're hoping for a retirement between one of the Mercedes, but we're going to go into rich fuel mix anyway to try and close the gap as best we can. The gap's down to around 11 seconds. We've gained about around a second per lap on that occasion. We're now going to cut to the end of lap number 10. The gap has come down to just under 9 seconds, so we have gained a bit more than a second this lap. But we've also got traffic in front of us, but there's only 4 laps, and also there's only 5 laps remaining, so I don't think we're going to be able to make a consistent challenge here. As you can see, we've actually got an achievement, something called F1 Superhero. I just thought I'd point that out whilst we were going around this circuit. I'm not 100% sure what that achievement does. I'm actually going to look it up right now. And it turned out it was only the fact that I played 600 minutes of this game. Anyway, so we've now cut to the middle, or the start of lap number 12. We've actually hit the wall coming off the exit of turn number 4 or turn number 5, not 100% sure. Look at this, we've now got traffic in front of us. We've got Jenson Button. Why the hell is Jenson Button doing, what the hell is Jenson Button doing all the way down at the back of the field there? He must have had some sort of problem somewhere, but he's really annoying me right now because he's in the DRS zone of us. He now is trying to unlap himself, which is really not helping our cause when it comes to chasing after Mercedes. So it looks like our chances are over. As you can see, we've gone very wide going into the left-hander. Button is still on our tail as we come across into the what used to be the left-right-left chicane area, but they changed it to just a normal left-hander because of the lower speed through that chicane, and they want to make the circuit a little bit faster. We've also hit the wall coming off the hairpin, and Button is still right with us because of that. So this is not good for us. We're going to have to get some distance between us and Button here for too long. Anyways, we're going to cut to the end of lap number 13. We've decided to go back to standard fuel mates because we're too far back, I think, to close up on the Mercedes. So we're going to save the engine, we're going to save fuel, and ensure we guarantee this third place. You can see Hamilton has won the race today, so that's not good for our championship hopes. So we lose 10 points in the championship fight, but at least we're finishing races. We've still finished in the points at every single race, and mostly on the podium. So I'm very pleased with the third place result today.
What a day for Lewis Hamilton. It's another race win for the British driver. Paddy Lowe described it as one of his best drives in a Mercedes. He'll be hoping to produce more of the same next time around.
So here are the results from the Singapore Grand Prix today. Lewis Hamilton leads a Mercedes 1-2 with Nico Rosberg in second, myself in third, Daniel Ricciardo in fourth, Felipe Massa in fifth, Kimi Räikkönen in sixth, Valtteri Bottas failing to recover from the pit stop is down in 7th, Alonso in 8th, Magnussen up to 9th, and Nico Hülkenberg finishing off the top 10 in 10th. We're going to scroll down a little bit to see what the rest of the field looks like. And Chilton finishing in 18th, that's a pretty good result for him. And Vettel was the only retirement of the race. I was wondering where he actually was. And there's Jenson Button. Look at that, he had to make 2 pit stops, hence why he was at the back of the field. Not sure exactly what the incident was, we didn't see on the replays. And here's what the Drivers' Championship looks like. Daniel Ricciardo moving in front of his teammate Sebastian Vettel into 4th place. We are now 47 points behind Hamilton. That's because of the 10-point difference between 1st and 3rd. And Raikkonen's moved back in front of his teammate Alonso in the battle between the two Ferraris for 8th and 9th. So we now cut to the Constructors' Championship. We are still in 3rd place, but we've closed right up onto Red Bull because of Vettel's retirement and us finishing in 3rd place. So there's still all to play for when it comes to that battle for 2nd. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe, and also comment to see what I could do to improve the series. And I'll see you all for the next race at Suzuka, Japan.